When I hit my 40s, in my 40th year, I went through a little bit of a crisis. I wasn't sure what I was doing with my life. Had I really achieved all I wanted to achieve? I mean, my work was going well and I had a good relationship, but had I really seized all the opportunities that I could? Well, I wasn't too sure. And I was feeling a little bit like I'm a strong and independent woman, but really, it's easy to be a strong and independent woman if you never challenge yourself. And so I thought, what I need is an adventure. What I need is an adventure by myself. So I decided what I'd try is some solo hiking. And I looked around and I found a place that I thought might be perfect. Hadrian's Wall in England. It's 89 miles from Newcastle to Carlisle. Seems like a very pleasant way, not too many mountains, just rolling hills. There's a clear path. I can do this. And England, being an old country, doesn't have dangerous wildlife. So as I'm deciding I would try this, I start telling friends and family about what I'm going to do. Solo hiking, they say? So dangerous. Are you sure you want to go by yourself, a woman alone? I think, well, I've assessed the risks, but I can hear these voices. And my husband, he's very good. He knows me very well. So he's careful never to say, no, I don't want you to do this. But you could hear in his voice that he wasn't totally comfortable with my decision. However, I calmly and collectively started to collect the things together that I would need for this trip. I got myself a sleeping bag. I got myself a bivy sack. I'm not very strong, so I didn't want to carry a tent. And a bivy sack is like, well, it's like a body bag that goes over top of your sleeping bag and then zips up to keep out the weather. In fact, it even has a little face zip to keep out the mosquitoes. Bivy sack, water bottle with a water filter that I can use to drink from any stream or river. A nice, comfortable backpack. My Kindle, which carries up to 3,000 books and the charge lasts forever, mobile phone, a charger in case, just in case I need to call a taxi and get out of there. And I'm ready to go. I'm still getting these messages. Wild camping, my British friends are saying. And I don't really understand wild camping because I'm originally from Canada and we just have camping or not camping. So wild camping, they said, oh my goodness, it's so dangerous. But I think, no, I'm a strong and independent woman. I can do this. And so there I am. I arrive in Manchester and take the train up to Newcastle. And my first day, I wake up in Newcastle. I leave the bed and breakfast that I'm in and I start walking. And it is beautiful. In the first 20 minutes, just walking out of the city, waiting to reach this wall, I know I've made the right decision. It's a beautiful day. It's cool in the mornings. It's about 6 a.m. when I leave. The sun is just rising. There's mist over the ground. And at mid-morning, I reach my first section of Hadrian's Wall. It was built in 122 AD by Roman auxiliary soldiers. These are soldiers that came from all over Europe, been conquered by the Romans, and then various members had joined the Roman auxiliary force, and they're sent up to this cold and rainy climate up in the northern part of England to guard this wall. They come from all over. I come from overseas. And I'm thinking, this is perfect. And I'm looking at these stones put together by these people from so many places so long ago. And I'm feeling an affinity and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling, yes, this has been the right decision. And I keep walking and I keep walking. And I'm just feeling better and better about myself. Look, I can do these things on my own. I don't have to rely on society or my partner or anything. I can be strong and independent by myself. And the first day, having done no training, I walked 29 kilometers before I started looking around for somewhere to sleep. And I'm nervous because I've never done this before. And suddenly these voices start coming back in. Are you sure it's safe? What if there's people around? How will you take care of yourself? But I silence them in my head. and I look around and I see up ahead there's a little pine grove. And I think that's where I want to sleep. Pine trees leave these lovely needles on the ground, and it's super soft and lovely to sleep on. So I go and I look, and there's a little hillock just past the path. And just behind that, there's this wonderful little cavity. And I think that's where I'm going to sleep tonight. And I'm congratulating myself on all these decisions that I've made and my strength and my independence as I lay out my bivy sack and I crawl into my sleeping bag, brush my teeth, get out my Kindle, and I'm just kind of starting to lull myself to sleep with a feeling of wonderful satisfaction. My Kindle, when he appears. Around the corner of one of the trees in this grove, suddenly there's a pair of beady black eyes peeking out at me. It's a squirrel. I mean, it's not exactly the most dangerous forest animal I've encountered. I think it's a squirrel, I'm a person, we're good. But this squirrel starts looking out from one side of the tree, and then he goes around to the other side of the tree, and then he goes up to a branch a little higher. And as he comes out onto the branch, he makes this noise. I did not know that squirrels could make that noise. And I'm finding it a little disconcerting. It's quite loud. It's quite aggressive. He's clearly not happy with me being here. And over the next 10 or 15 minutes, he jumps from tree to tree again. But I think he's a squirrel. And here I am, a strong and independent woman. I am not going to be intimidated by a rodent. I calmly turn off my Kindle and I tuck it into my backpack. I snuggle down into my bivy sack and zip up the zipper, and I prepare to go to sleep, my weary legs, my swollen feet, ready for some rest. He goes again. It's fully dark now. And I'll admit, it was a bit spooky. But again, he's a squirrel. I'm a person. I win just from that. I close my eyes and I take a couple of deep breaths, and I'm just drifting off when suddenly, whook, I sit up. And sure enough, on my sleeping bag, there's a pine cone. Well, it's a bit windy. The trees I can see vaguely swaying in the darkening night. I think it must have fallen down from the trees. I lay back down again. And sure enough, fuck! 2 more pine cones come down. And I look up into the swaying trees in the wind, and I see this gray body leaping from branch to branch up above and going, ee! He's throwing pine cones at me now. And so I calmly and collectedly got out of my sleeping bag and rolled it up, put it back in my backpack, shoved my swollen feet back into my hiking shoes, calmly and collectively walked another 2 kilometers until I found an open field with an oak tree with sheltering branches. Set up my sleeping bag again and my bivy sack, laid back down, assured that I could be a strong and independent woman somewhere else.